Alright, more Burst Protocol stream reveals, this time with Bastion's Magnet Warriors. Even though Bastion was on stream, I was expecting a Fire Dragon to be revealed, but they didn't do that. Instead, we got more of his Magnet Warriors, which is also pretty awesome. So let's begin. So first off, let's start off with the small one, starting with Magnet Warrior M+, or E+. I don't know which one it is, but I'm just gonna say M+, which is a level 4 Earth Rock with 1800 attack, 1500 defense, and the effects are, the first one, all your opponent's monsters must attack if able, while you control an Earth monster. Basically a magnet type effect where it tracks your opponent, in which a second effect where you choose the attack target for your opponent while they control an Earth monster. And spoiler alert, this is going to be an anti-Earth playstyle practically, which I personally don't like the anti-attribute thing, but considering that you still get the good effects still, I think it's okay, especially since the extra part is just a bonus. But anyway, to the third effect, which is hard once per turn, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster in your graveyard except itself and add to your hand or special summon it, which is actually very good because you could even use it with Yugi's Magnet Warriors as well. It's mainly this third effect that is actually pretty decent, as there's ways to just send this to the graveyard and then just trigger its effect. But in that, it's just mostly an anti-Earth deck. And then we go to Magnet Warrior M-, which is a level 4 Earth Rock with 1500 attack, 1800 defense, reverse stats of the other one, which makes sense because it's plus and minus. And the first and second effect are hard ones per turn, which the first one is you can reveal this card from your hand and then perform a fusion summon of one fusion monster from your extra deck using rock monsters from your hand and or field, including this card from your hand. Which this effect is actually pretty good just because you could actually just perform a fusion summon without using a fusion card. In which the second effect is that if this card is no more special summon, you can send one level 8 Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard, which even in Yugi's Magnet Warrior's case, you do have good amount. And then to the third effect, which is the anti-Earth effect, once per turn, when an attack is between two Earth monsters, you can negate that attack. Idea here is, of course, they don't attract with each other. You mainly use it for the first two effect because first effect lets you fusion summon, and the second effect, on summon, you could actually just Foolish Burial a high level Magnet Warrior, which some of them might even have a graveyard effect. Like this one, Tellurion, the Magnet Warrior, which is a level 8 Earth Rock with 2500 attack and defense, cannot be normal summoned and must be special summoned from the graveyard by banishing a M+ and M- from your hand, face up the field, and or graveyard. With its main effect being once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, or if it's an Earth monster at the activation, you can take control of it instead. Nice that you got a quick effect that negates, but if it's on an Earth monster, you also just control it instead. With the second effect of during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card to special summon two of your banished Magnet Warrior monsters. Basically, the idea here is that on summon, it's the two Magnet Warriors combined, and then when you use the second effect, you can actually separate them back up. While it's not too hard to summon, it's basically just a big boss monster that just negates, that can just beat down your opponent, or just anti-Earth and take control of your opponent's stuff. And into a fusion monster, which I think the other one should have been the fusion monster, Conduction Knight Plasma Magnum, which is a level 7 Earth Rock fusion monster with 2300 attack, 2800 defense, requires 2 Earth Rock monsters, and it could be any, which is also very nice. And its first and third effect are both hard ones per turn. The first one being, if this card's fusion summoned, you can add one Magnet normal quick play or field spell from your deck to your hand. Searching is always nice, especially on summon, and once again, it's another one of those extra deck monsters that just literally search. And the second effect really helps out the Magnet Warrior effects as monsters on the field become Earth, so now you can do the attract or bouncing type abilities, in which the third effect is that you can send one level 8 Magnet Warrior from your deck to the graveyard, and immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster. Basically an effect that can literally set you up. Not only that you could set up your graveyard, but immediately doing a summon, which is also pretty nice because that one summon could trigger some more stuff, and even set you up even further. So once again, it's another fusion monster that really just sets you up on the board. The main effect is really just make everything all Earth so you could use the magnet type effects in full power, but definitely not a really super big boss monster here. And finally to the last card, which is a quick play spell, Magnet Bonding. So its effect is that during the main phase, activate one of these listed effects, but each effect cannot be activated in the same turn. So the first effect is that you can add one Conduction Warrior Linear Magnum plus or one level 4 lower Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. The second section, add one level 8 Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. Or 3, fusion summon one rock fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling materials from your hand, field, graveyard, and or banishment into the deck. This card is just too good in Magnet Warriors. Even if you're not using it for this particular build and just playing it in Yugi's build, it's still very good as it just still lets you search and even can let you do a fusion summon play. And you can play multiple copies in a turn. So it's a 3 of when it comes to Magnet Warrior decks. And so that's it for the new Magnet Warrior support when it comes to Bastion. What do you guys think of it? Overall, after so long, it's just cool to see these cards. Even though this time it's not Yugi related, seeing Bastion stuff made overall is just awesome, especially when they declared that they weren't really going to print Bastion's cards. Although I'm still hoping for the Fire Dragon. But overall, I do still hope that they print more Bastion's cards. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.